All right, everybody, get ready to talk Purple Rain, because today we are diving into one of the most iconic soundtracks of all time.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. The soundtrack, it's really something else.
We're talking more than just a list of songs. We're going deep on the creative force behind it, the collaborators, the legacy. This is Prince's world in the 80s.
Exactly, and it's incredible how much of his vision he poured into this project.
And a huge thanks to you, the listener, for sending in the IMDB soundtrack listing for Purple Rain, 1984. Classic. It's a great roadmap for us today.
Definitely a good place to start. It's packed with hits, but what really makes it special is that it goes beyond a typical movie soundtrack.
100%. This wasn't just music for a film. This was Prince showcasing his artistry, his musical genius on every level.
He had a hand in pretty much every single track, even the ones he didn't personally sing on.
Seriously. Talk about a creative powerhouse. So as we go through this, I want you listening, think about which songs really grab you.
I think that'll be really telling, actually, about what kind of musical tastes you gravitate towards.
Right. Like, does that funky bass line get you going? Or is it that raw emotion in Prince's vocals?
There's so much to unpack here.
Okay, so rather than just going track by track, let's jump around a bit on this list, yeah? Look at how many songs Prince both wrote A&D performed.
Oh, are we about to see my Prince knowledge put to the test? Hit me.
Let's Go Crazy, that's Prince. The Beautiful Ones, Prince again. When Doves Cry, I Would Die For You, need I go on?
The man was a musical machine. And let's not forget his business sense. Did you notice how many songs list Controversy Music as the publisher? That's his company.
Oh yeah, savvy, right. He was building an empire. And speaking of empires, we got to talk about the Revolution. This wasn't just some backing band.
Oh, absolutely not. They brought a raw energy, such tight musicianship. Really helped define that signature Purple Rain sound.
A wholly different vibe than his solo stuff.
You can hear it, that back and forth, the way their instruments play off each other.
It's funk, it's rock, it's that soulful Prince vibe all blended together.
Like nothing else at the time.
And when it comes to collaborations, you can't forget Apollonia 6. Now, Prince, he was instrumental in guiding this group, fronted by his co-star, Apollonia.
Sex Shooter, that was their big hit from the movie. Pure 80s energy right there.
Oh yeah, and that seductive edge. So Prince.
It's wild to see how he mentored other artists, shaped their sound, but you still knew it was Prince behind it.
And that mentoring, it wasn't just Apollonia 6. He did the same thing with another group on this soundtrack, Moore's Day and the Time.
Oh man, those guys, they played rivals in the movie, which is funny because Prince actually mentored them in real life too.
Right. But their sound, it was all their own.
Totally. Sassy, in-your-face funk, Jungle Love, and The Bird. Come on, those are classics.
That playful competition between them, it comes out on the soundtrack, adds a whole other layer to the listening experience.
Definitely keeps things interesting. It's like this perfectly curated musical journey. Each act brings something different, but it all still fits together.
It's a cohesive vision, and that's Prince, right? But here's the thing. As much as he loved collaborating, he also knew how to make a statement all on his own.
Oh, for sure.
Like, take God Love Theme, for example.
Okay, yeah.
No lyrics, nothing. Just pure instrumental Prince.
Shows a whole other side of him, doesn't it?
It's like this guy can create worlds with just sound, pure emotion, no words needed.
And that was kind of the thing about soundtracks back then. It wasn't just about slapping some songs together.
It was an experience.
Totally. They were creating a feeling, an atmosphere, and Purple Rain, it nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay, so we've talked about those big high-energy anthems, right? But this album has layers.
Oh, he goes deep.
So let's talk about some of those deeper cuts, the ones that might surprise you.
The hidden gems.
Exactly, like the beautiful ones, for instance.
Ooh, good one.
This track, it's raw, it's vulnerable, you feel every word.
Total opposite end of the spectrum from something like Let's Go Crazy, but just as powerful.
Absolutely. And then there's Darling Nikki. Talk about a song that got people talking.
Oh, yeah. That one stirred up some controversy back in the day.
It pushed boundaries, made people uncomfortable. And you know what? That's sometimes what art is supposed to do.
100%. It's about sparking a reaction, getting people to think.
It became a whole cultural conversation, and that's powerful. And speaking of powerful, we got to talk about When Doves Cry. This song, it broke all the rules.
No bass line. Can you imagine?
It's iconic.
It was risky, but it paid off. Created this floating, ethereal vibe.
And it influenced everyone. Even today, you can hear that When Doves Cry sound
It's timeless. That's the thing about Prince. He was always ahead of his time.
He redefined what was possible in music, wasn't afraid to take chances.
A true innovator.
And, of course, we can't talk Purple Rain without talking about Purple Rain, the song.
The title track, yeah, but it's so much more than just that, right?
It's an anthem. Like you said, it goes beyond the movie, beyond the Prince even.
It represents something bigger, for sure, and those live performances, forget about it.
Legendary, the guitar solos, that raw emotion, he poured his soul into every note.
You could feel the energy, even just listening to a recording. It's like you're right there in the audience.
It's electrifying. And, the whole soundtrack has that effect. You get lost in it.
Prince had this vision, and the music was just one part of it.
It's a whole experience, like you said before.
He understood how to tell a story, how to use visuals, performance, everything worked together.
And it makes you wonder, what would music be like today if Purple Rain hadn't happened?
He set the bar so high, and it still resonates.
It's a testament to what he was capable of. Commercially successful, but still so groundbreaking.
Absolutely, a true artist.
So, to our listener out there, I want you to do something for me. Go back and listen to Purple Rain again, the whole thing.
Yeah, do it.
But this time, try to picture it. The movie, the clothes, the whole vibe of that era.
Put yourself in that moment.
It adds this whole other layer to the experience, don't you think?
Totally, it becomes more than just music. It's a time capsule,
It's history, and it's awesome. This deep dive has been a blast.
I agree.
Always something new to learn, especially when we explore it together.
Keeps things interesting, that's for sure.
That's what it's all about. All right, everybody, until next time, keep those minds curious.